I see it happen all the time. Families move to White Rock or South Surrey thinking that they found the perfect neighborhood. But 6 months later, they realize they've made a huge mistake. The commute is a nightmare. The schools, they weren't what they expected. Or the neighborhood just doesn't feel right. And now, well, they're stuck. You've got one shot at getting this right. You pick the right neighborhood, you get the best schools, the right street, the safest community that you could live in. But you get it wrong and you could end up overpaying for a home that doesn't even fit your lifestyle, your needs, or worst of yet, makes you feel incredibly uncomfortable when you come home. Since 2007, we have helped hundreds of families pick the absolute best neighborhoods for them and their families in the entire city of Surrey. And that's exactly what this video today is dedicated to. I'm gonna show you exactly which neighborhoods people absolutely love and stumble upon to try and get their families into. Not only are we gonna break them down, but I'm also gonna let you know about a few surprises that are probably gonna catch you off guard. And the first neighborhood on my list, most people overlook it, but it's easily one of the best places to raise a family in the entire Lower Mainland. Oh, and before we get into it, you want to make sure that you're moving into the right area. So stick around until the end. I'm gonna let you know how to get your hands on our most comprehensive and detailed guide ever, fully breaking down everything that you're gonna wanna know about living in South Surrey and White Rock. So if that sounds good, let's get into it. You only get one chance to buy or sell your next home. Let's get it right. If you're moving to South Surrey or White Rock and you want a neighborhood that's quiet, safe, has top-rated schools, and lets you live walking distance from the beach, Ocean Park needs to be on your list. But here's the thing. Most people overlook it because it's not as flashy as some of the newer developments, and that's a big mistake. Ocean Park is one of those rare places where you actually get a real sense of community. Neighbors know each other. The streets, well, they're lined with mature trees, and there's a small town feel that you just don't get in a lot of the newer areas. But don't let that fool you. This is still one of the most desirable, highest value areas in all of South Surrey. So here is why families absolutely love living in Ocean Park. If you've got kids, schools are everything, and this is where Ocean Park really delivers. You've got La Ronde Elementary, which has a kick-ass French immersion program and probably is one of the most sought-after schools in the entire area. And for high school, you're in the Elgin Park Secondary Catchment, which is consistently ranked as one of the top public high schools in South Surrey. Families literally move to this location just to get their kids into these school catchments. Next is the lifestyle. Imagine this: Saturday morning, you grab a coffee, and instead of sitting in traffic, you're walking down to Crescent Beach before the crowds even show up. You take the kids on a quick hike down 1001 steps, or you hit up the local cafes where the barista actually knows your name. This is weekend life in Ocean Park, but it's not just weekend life, it's everyday life. This is what the residents get to experience all the time. Unlike some of the newer developments where every house looks the same, Ocean Park actually has character. You've got a mix of charming older homes, beautifully renovated properties, and full-on luxury rebuilds. And because land is limited, home values here hold strong. It's one of those places where you're not just buying a home, you're buying into a lifestyle. At the time of filming this video, the benchmark price of detached homes in Crescent Beach Ocean Park came in at $1.8 million. Here's the truth though, Ocean Park, it's not perfect and it does have its scabs. So what are two of the things that you might want to know before you decide to call this home? Ocean Park has a lot of older homes, some that were built decades ago. So unless you're buying one that's been completely updated, you might need to put in some work. But that's the trade-off for getting a bigger lot, mature trees, and homes with actual character. The other problem, Ocean Park isn't exactly a budget-friendly option. Prices stay high because demand is strong and there's only so much land to go around. But here's the thing, if you're looking for a long-term home in a neighborhood that actually appreciates in value, this is one of the safest bets that you can make. If you're looking for a family-friendly neighborhood with top-ranked schools, a community feel, and some of the best outdoor access in the entire Lower Mainland, Ocean Park definitely needs to be on your list of places to check out. But hey, if Ocean Park isn't for you, let's jump over to number 2 on our list. Most families moving to South Surrey completely overlook South Meridian. It doesn't get talked about as much as Ocean Park or Morgan Heights, but let me tell you, that's a huge mistake. Because if you're looking for a family-friendly neighborhood with big yards, great schools, and unbeatable locations near the beach and the border, South Meridian might be exactly what you're looking for. Here's why families absolutely love living in the South Meridian area. To start, it's got the perfect balance of quiet and convenience. A lot of people want to live close to the beach, but let's be real, Crescent Beach prices can be crazy. South Meridian is one of the best kept secrets because you're still minutes from the ocean, but you're getting a lot more house for your money, and you're not stuck in constant tourist traffic. Additionally, the schools are solid. For families with kids, South Meridian Elementary is a fantastic choice. It's a tight-knit community-oriented school where the teachers actually know the families. And for high school, you're zoned for Earl Marriott Secondary, which has one of the strongest French immersion programs in the entire Lower Mainland. What about if you need to commute to work? Well, South Meridian's got you covered. If you work in Vancouver, you're close to Highway 99 for an easy drive. If you travel for work or just love a quick weekend escape, the US border is right there, which means cheaper gas, cheaper groceries, and a quick weekend getaway. It's low-key one of the best perks about living here. Unlike some of the newer developments where houses are crammed together, South Meridian still has space. You'll find larger lots, mature trees, and a mix of well-maintained homes and modern rebuilds, but without the sky-high price tag that you're going to find in some of the trendier areas. At the time of filming this video, the benchmark price for not only South Meridian, but the King George corridor as a whole came in at $1.635 million. Of course, just like Ocean Park, South Meridian has its problems as well, and there's a couple things that you're going to want to consider. South Meridian has a ton of older homes, and a lot of them were built in the 80s and 90s, which means some of them could use a refresh. If you're looking for a brand new construction type home, this probably isn't your spot. But if you're after a solid home on a bigger lot, this could be exactly what you're looking for. One of the other considerations, South Meridian is purely residential, which is great for peace and quiet, but if you want restaurants with nightlife and walking distance, well, you're probably heading up to Grandview or into White Rock. That being said, you're only a short drive from everything you need. So is South Meridian right for you? Well, if you're looking for a quiet, family-friendly neighborhood, one that has great schools and is still really close to the Pacific Ocean, the Semiahmoo Bay, the beach, where you get to enjoy so many outdoor activities, but without the insane price tags of some of the more trendier areas, you're definitely going to want to take a visit to South Meridian. And that's because South Meridian is a hidden gem. But hey, if South Meridian and Ocean Park, if they don't sound like they're for you, we've got one more on our list that you need to know about. A lot of people assume South Surrey is out of reach. It's too expensive, too exclusive, not enough affordable options. But what if I told you there was a market in South Surrey where families just like yours can actually get into a home, one that is modern, one that is not super old, one that has a great school catchment, and is walking distance to absolutely everything you need. And the only trade-off is if you can't afford a detached home, you've got incredible, beautiful options for a modern new townhouse. Well, that's the neighborhood of Grandview. Grandview is one of the best spots for first-time buyers and move-up buyers. And if you're looking for an affordable way to get into South Surrey, Grandview is the go-to neighborhood for townhomes. You get modern layouts, open concept living, and family-friendly communities, all at a price point that makes sense compared to detached homes in the area. In fact, the benchmark price of a townhome in the area is about $936,000. There's so many great reasons why young families just like yours decide to call Grandview home, and one of them is the incredible schools in the neighborhood. You've got Edgewood Elementary and Grandview Heights Secondary, both highly rated and designed for growing families who want long-term stability in Surrey's school system. And unlike other parts of South Surrey, where you need a car for almost everything, Grandview is extremely walkable. You're just minutes from Grandview Corners and Morgan Crossing, which means restaurants, grocery stores, gyms, and coffee shops are all right there. And there's also tons of recreation because, hey, the kids need to burn out that energy. This area is loaded with parks and playgrounds and sports facilities. Take the Grandview Heights Aquatic Center, for instance, being one of the best in Metro Vancouver, being one of the best swimming pools and aquatic centers in all of Metro Vancouver. And if your kids are into sports, South Surrey Athletic Park is just a short drive away. Just like the other things on our list, there's a few things that you need to know about Grandview, and one of them to begin with is the townhome prices, or even the detached home prices, well, they're still rising. While townhomes in Grandview are more affordable than detached homes, prices have steadily increased over the last few years. This isn't just an area where you wait for the market to cool off. Demand is strong, and it's only getting more expensive as people discover how convenient it is. Also, if you're looking for big yards and lots of space between houses, Grandview isn't it. This area is all about modern, high-density townhome developments, which means great community vibes, but less personal space compared to detached homes. And because Grandview is such a hotspot, rush hour traffic on the street of 24th, which really connects everybody to get home in the Grandview area, can get really backed up and really busy. But really, with the upside of the area being that you are so close and everything is so walkable in the neighborhood, maybe you don't need the car at all. At the end of the day, choosing the right neighborhood isn't just about the house. It's about the lifestyle, it's about the community, and it's about what makes sense for your family's future. And that's where we can help. If you're thinking of relocating to the area, you can get in touch with us by using the link below, or at the very least, if you're just getting the process started and you're interested in learning all about the community of South Surrey, White Rock, you want to get your hands on our most comprehensive and detailed guide ever about South Surrey and White Rock neighborhoods, where we've got everything that you could ever want to know, far outreaching the contents of today's video. I also need to be a little honest with you here too, because you haven't got the whole story about living in South Surrey or White Rock quite yet just from this video's content, because there's areas that you're going to want to avoid. And that video, it's coming up next. So I'll see you over there.